So, welcome back to the Soul Confetti podcast. And today's podcast is inspired by life, by things I've been doing, by my Bible studies, by conversations with other people, and just really wanting to be a better person and understanding the world in a different way. So, we're going to talk a little bit about the Bible. We're going to talk a little bit about the Be the Spark movement. We're going to talk a touch on politics, and who knows? It will probably be all over the place because once I get to talking, sometimes it just flows. But what I want to talk about first today is our world is so divided, and we see so much negativity. And we think that we are these individuals that have to be selfish or have to like hold our own in this world. And I just don't believe we were meant to be that way. And I believe that we are meant to lean on each other. We're meant to learn from each other. We're meant to use each other in positive, loving ways, not negative, selfish ways. I believe God put each of us and everything on this earth to complement and support each other. And I feel like I've always felt that way. But when I was studying the Psalms recently in the Old Testament, and you know, you don't have to be religious of a certain religious background or have any kind of preconceived notions about this regarding whatever religion that you come from or spirituality. But just listen to some of the words from Psalms 104, the whole chapter. Um, he sendeth the springs into the valleys. This is Psalms 104:10. He sendeth the springs into the valleys which run among the hills. They give drink to every beast of the field. The wild asses quench their thirst. By them shall fowls of the heavens have their habitation, which sing among the branches. He watereth the hills from his chambers. The earth is satisfied with the fruits of his works. He causes the grass that grow for cattle, and the herb for service of man. And he may bring forth food of this earth, out of this earth. And the wine that maketh glad the heart of man, and the oil that maketh his face to shine, and the bread which strengthens his heart. The trees of the Lord are full of sap, and cedars of Lebanon, which he hath planted. Where the birds make their nest, as for the stork, and the fir trees are for her house. The high hills are the refuge for the wild goat, and the rocks of the conies. He appointed the moon for seasons, and the sun knoweth his going down. He maketh darkness, and it is the night, wherein all the beasts of the forest do creep. And it just goes on to say that God created everything for a purpose, and that each of those things were meant for us to use and to lean on each other. And it is like the lion chasing the antelope. The lion has to eat. And God put that on this earth for the lion to eat. The trees are for the birds, to protect the birds, and even the wine for man to lift his spirits and be joyful. Um, when I read this verse, this whole chapter 104, Psalms 104, it makes me know that we're all connected and we're all meant to be connected. We all have our similarities and we all have a gift to give each other in this world. We have wisdom. And that's why grandmothers share their stories with their grandchildren, right? Is to share our wisdom, to share our skills so the next one can learn. It's why my dads teach their daughters or teach their sons to work on cars if that's what they do. And it's why the birds fly and they sing for us because singing is so powerful and vibrations are so powerful. A smile. Think about how if you're having a bad day and somebody speaks to you and says, "Hey, how are you doing?" and gives you a smile, how that lifts your mood. And we're all put on this earth to support each other and love each other. And that's kind of where my premise to this podcast is. Now, the Be the Spark movement that if you don't know about is a movement that I started with two gentlemen. One is from California, LA area, and one is from Uganda. And we met on the internet. I met Jeffrey on TikTok, and he's a poet also, and we hit it off. He is super phenomenal human being, very different background, very different way he sees the world in a lot of ways, but very similar way he sees the world from for me. And then there's Jimmy, who who lives in Uganda, a very, very, very different place from the USA. And we all have the same idea of how we can lift this world up by finding connection with each other. That connection that is the foundation of God and how he created us. We go through the same stages of growth. We all experience similar heartaches and pains and hungers. We we all, especially when we're younger, we all crave knowledge. We learn, we grow, we have curiosity, we have this this innate love of learning. And when we break down humanity to lean on each other, it is such a beautiful, beautiful way to see the world. We all go through things. And if we can come together in those likenesses and lean on each other as we're meant to, support each other and have compassion and joy and share that with each other. I tell you, those Be the Spark movement conversations that we have once a month, they may grow to be more than once a month, something I'm considering. But each of those conversations, they leave me floored. They leave me inspired. I always learn and just my heart explodes after those conversations. And typically we have people from many countries on here on our Zoom calls once a month. They're the third Saturday of the month at noon. And we're on YouTube, Be the Spark Movement on YouTube. Just go and like pick 10 minutes out of three or four of those and listen to some of the knowledge, some of the experience, some of the wisdom that comes out of that. And I promise you, I know this in my heart that if we could see each other for how we're supposed to lean into each other and support each other and love each other, especially through the hard times, but even in the joyful times, that this world could be a phenomenal place. Now you take out politics and money, power, control, and that's where the real humanity lies. When money, power, control get involved, that's where we get disrupted. I mean, just think about an abusive husband, right? It is all about power and control. A narcissist, all about power and control. But we're not meant to be that way. We're meant to lean into each other. We're meant to support each other. We're meant to, I dare say, use, but not in the way that we're using someone, but we use each other to grow, inspire, to learn from, and to respect. Can you imagine what a world like that would be? And that's what this podcast about. That's what my books are about, many of them. That's what my Be the Spark movement is about, is recognizing the similarities that we have. If you strip away the color of our skin, the texture of our hair, the color of our eyes, and you see somebody for the light that is truly who they are. We all have a beautiful, amazing light that is our soul, that is our heart, that is who we are in our complete stripped down authenticity. And it's up to us to see people in that light instead of see people for their outward appearances. You know, here's a little blurb about politics. As much as I hate to bring politics into anything I do, because I've been hurt by a lot of people because of politics, which just saddens me horrifically. But politics is what stirs things up that most people don't, I don't say don't care about, but most people don't care about who you sleep with. Most people don't care about the color of your skin. Most people don't care about what's in your bank account. Most people don't care about the car you drive. They want love and connection and friendship and support, laughter. The rest of that stuff doesn't matter unless you're trying to manipulate people into being divided. You know that ancient saying in the USA, united we stand, divided we fall? Remember that because it's so very true. Unless the people, we humans, the 90, I would say 80%, because I think there's 10% on one side and there's 10% on the other that keep things stirred up and angry. And, the media and the YouTube influencers or social media influencers and I don't even know. But to me, I feel like there's 10% on each side that really make things so divided and so divisive. And that 80% of people from both sides, right? 80% of people just want to live in peace, just want to take care of their families, just want to live in love and connection and laughter and joy and be able to have a good meal and not worry about paying their bills. So think about that each time you have an encounter, or each time that you see something horrific on the news or on social media, take a step back and say, does this happen in the norm? Or is this just one thing that they keep taking clips of and spoon feeding us this anger, this hatred, this division? And then really be present every time you go out of your house. Hold the door for somebody, smile at somebody, let somebody out in traffic. Check in with yourself and see where you stand in making this world a better place. Because you are the only person you can control. I am the only person I can control. And it's up to each of us to make this world a better place. So when you go out into the world every time, check on yourself. Check in with yourself and ask yourself, am I being the good human that I want others to see me as, or as I want others to treat me? Going back to the Bible, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's not do unto others before they do unto you, or do unto others as they have done unto you. You got to take that responsibility. And it's hard because people are mean. People are selfish innately. We will preserve ourselves, and anger is a very valid emotion, as is fear, as is shame, but we can't live in those places. We have to live in the places of love and joy and compassion more often than not. And that's how we're meant to be. Those are higher vibrational motions. If you've ever seen like the upside down pyramid of emotional vibrations, fear, shame, guilt, all those things are very, very low vibrational that keep us small, that keep us divided, that keep us in self doubt and self loathing. And think about everything we get spoon fed in the media. You should be ashamed because you are. You should be ashamed because you voted for Trump. You should be ashamed because you voted for Harris. You should be ashamed because you think this way. And the truth is, you don't know how people think. You don't know their reason behind their foundation of their life, what they've been through in their life. Maybe their family scraped by because their dad got hurt. And they know what it's like to just start working when you're 14 years old, just so you can have jeans to wear to school. You don't know what people are going through in this very moment. You don't know if they came from an abusive home as a child or if they came from an abusive home as an adult. You don't know that their mom isn't sick and that they're just making it through every day. You don't know if their child is laid up in a hospital somewhere and they're just trying to get some milk to take back to their child. You don't know what everyone that you encounter is going through. And that's where the compassion, that's where your heart has to be open to love and to holding other people, regardless of what you feel. It's your responsibility to work through your feelings and to heal yourself and to continue to strive to be the best person you can be. Now, whether you believe in the Bible or you believe in the Constitution or something else, there has to be some kind of moral code that we follow. Nothing, nothing can guide us if we're living so low vibrational. When you're so at rock bottom, you have to ask yourself, is this where I'm meant to live? Does this feel good in my body? Does this feel good in my soul? Or is there something better? Is there a way that I can lift myself out of this? Like, is there somebody I can talk to? Is there something I can do? Should I go for a run and work this energy out? Should I do some yoga? Should I do some meditation? Should I do some journaling? Should I call up my best friend and pour my heart out? And if you're that best friend, do you have the time to just check out of what you're doing and listen? Because there's a song that I've been listening to on repeat lately, and it says it says when you're going through something, and I'm gonna get the quote wrong, but when you're going through something, it's always harder when you're going through it alone. Misery loves company, and it's harder when that misery is alone. And it makes it harder for us to see the light on the other side. But I promise you, if you are listening to this, there is light. There is beautiful light on the other side. If you take your tragedies, if you take your sadness and your hurt and you ask yourself, is this telling me where I'm meant to grow? Because you have an incredible purpose in this world. We all have a purpose. We're supposed to lean on each other. We're supposed to support each other and love each other and use the shade from the trees and listen to the birds sing and find joy in the purrs of that little kitten that just climbed on my lap. We're supposed to we're supposed to hold each other in this world, and we're not. Just blatantly, we're not doing it. We're holding on to anger, we're holding on to fear, we're holding on to resentments, and it really is bringing this earth down. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, sexually, it's all so low vibrational. And it is up to each of us to do a little something about it, to raise the bar just a little higher, to get out of fear, to get out of shame, to get out of guilt. We're only responsible for what we did. And if you want to get out of that guilt, then you work through it. You apologize to somebody. Um you make amends. Fear, 95% of the fears, I would guess, are unfounded. They're things somebody told you about or something innately like, I'm scared of heights. That's probably because something happened and may not remember, but makes me scared of heights to keep me safe. Ask yourself those hard questions. What's my responsibility in this world? What is what is my responsibility to the person walking down the street? What is my responsibility for the person across the world? I did a TikTok the other day about the thought of 6 degrees of separation. So if you know 6 people, that within 6 degrees of that, we all know each other and we're all connected. And when you think of that, then you go, I mean, to me, I'm like, oh, so if I'm mean to Cindy down the road, is somebody that maybe hires me or is looking to hire me in the future going to know her and she's going to be like, hey, she's kind of a bitch. I wouldn't hire her because she did X, Y, and Z. I mean, think about that. It's all going to come back around. But why are we so mean to each other if within 6 degrees of everybody we know, we're all connected in some way? And we are all connected. We're all connected in our likenesses. And we're disconnected in what we're told we should hate, what we're told we should fear, what we're told we should be guilty about, when we may not even have any responsibility in that at all. And it's all for a reason. And just think how powerful 8 billion people coming together in likenesses and love could be and change this world. I believe you could feel an absolute energetic ripple around this world. You think about back in the day, I think it was the 80s or 90s, then we did Hands Across America. I can't remember what that was about, but you can Google it if you want to know. Human touch, raising the vibrations, leaning on each other, living in that compassion and love. Open your heart physically, like reach around your back right now, grab your hands, puff your chest out, drop your head, open your heart. Technology has caused us to physically close our heart off. Technology has caused us to emotionally close our heart off because it's always so negative, and the negative has wings and legs that the positive doesn't have, because we feed on that drama. We feed on that fear. We feed on that guilt and shame. And we want to know, what did somebody else do? Because it might make us feel better in the things that we do. It gives us justification to be angry and justification to be stagnant in our life, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or whatever. Don't allow someone else's negativity to spew over on you. Living from joy, there's nothing like it. And I'll just give you one little example. I have two grandsons now, 3 and 4 months. He's almost 5 months. And honestly, those little faces and those little arms around me, there is nothing like it. Honestly, it is just pure love and pure joy. And I think about that every time we host a Be the Spark movement, is that if we could all just reach our arms around each other and feel that love and joy that is just innate in our children, if we could squeeze the essence out of those babies, it would be curiosity and love and awe and joy in the smallest of things, right? Like somebody sticking their tongue out at you and going, boo, and there's just pure joy in their face because that's funny. And there's pure joy when you smile at them and they smile back. That essence is what gets removed from us as we get told all the shoulds in our world. And we stop being curious because we replace curiosity with guilt and anger and fear. And we stop being in awe of our world because we think we know everything, and it becomes mundane. But just go put your feet in a creek, or go stand by a waterfall, or go stand at the top of a mountain or at the edge of the ocean and feel the wonder and the awe of the vastness of what God created for us to enjoy and to share. And everything is so divinely complex and beautiful once you think about it. I mean, just think about the human body, right? Like, how does the eye see and not your nose see? And how does the ear hear and we comprehend stuff, and how the brain works, and how you can stand barefoot and the earth gives us energy. How you can pick one plant and it helps with a headache, and another plant helps with menopausal symptoms, and another plant helps with a kidney infection. It's all so complex and yet so simple. A waterfall gives you negative ions. The wind takes away those negative ions. It is all to keep balance in our world, but it's all so beautifully complex, and we have no idea how God did it. Now, you can say evolution if that's what you believe in, but my thought is it possible that evolution and God work together? That evolution is how God created things from the dust of the earth? I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever know that question. I'll stand in line and ask God questions when I get to heaven. I don't know. What are your questions for God? I have so many. And I wonder if we'll just know once we get to heaven all those questions, all the answers to those questions that we want to ask as we're human on earth. But anyway, I've been all over the place today, and I just want to offer you this thought that We are all connected and we are meant to be connected. Whether it's the grass in your front yard, the kitten on your desk looking at you, or the neighbor down the street, or the guy living in a different country in a different way across the world. We we have to remember this deep connection that we have. That is how we're created. Go to your Bible if you have a Bible, um, and read Psalms 104 and see what you think of it. I would love to hear your thoughts about what that how that lands with you, because when I read that I was like, whoa. Like Psalms 23 used to be my favorite verse in the Bible, but now Psalms 104 just sticks with me constantly. And I'm like, we are all divinely connected. We are all beautifully, complexly, I'm just going to say complexly. That's a new word, connected. And it is up to us, each of us, to live from that awe and wonder and curiosity about how we can raise the vibration of this earth, how we can continue to support each other or begin to support each other, how we can let go of the power and control and manipulation and the fear and the guilt and shame that is infused upon us every day, which is meant to bring us down. We can choose differently, and we can choose every time you leave your house to be the person that smiles at somebody or smiles at everybody that they meet. It's a choice. And if you make the choice to be kind and compassionate, and you make the choice to stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves, if you live from love, I believe, I believe this world can have a huge, higher vibrational impact, and we're going to be able to feel it. But we have to start with us and inspire each other. So every time you smile at someone, every time you hug someone, every time you just look at someone with love and compassion, you're going to feel it. They're going to feel it. And anybody who witnessed it is going to feel it. And that's how we change the world. One smile, one connection, one compassionate conversation, one self reflection at a time. It's up to you. It's up to me. Let's do it together. All right. I will get off my soapbox now. I do invite you to read Psalms 104, and I would love to hear what your thoughts are and how it landed with you. I do invite you to join the Be the Spark movement, bethesparkmovement.com. You can sign up for your Zoom link that will get you to our monthly Zoom calls. And I think this month, July, we're talking about manifestation and goals. Last month, we talked about movement. We have talked about fear and love and gratitude and any plethora of human emotions. And if you have ideas of a conversation that you want to share, please reach out to me and I will put that on the schedule for next year. 2026 is already planned out, but 2027 has all the possibilities in the world. And we would love you to share your inspiration and what you want to have a discussion about. We do try to leave politics out of it. Sometimes it seeps in, and that's okay as long as we hold each other in that space of love and compassion and active listening and curiosity. All right. Until next time, thank you for listening to the Soul Confetti podcast. And as always, go love yourself.